looks like it's time. So let's go. Hello! Hello, hello, hello. I have all sorts of things we're working on. And one of which is tiny terrariums, like it says in the title of the stream. I'm just figuring out... Hi, Drabo! I'm just figuring out the last thing I want to do. I'm doing a bunch of like commission stuff, and then I should have enough resin to do like one more set of dice. So I was trying to figure out kind of what colors. I think I want to do something with like some purples. I was debating just doing this. They're kind of like softer colors, and then this one is probably kind of hard to see, but it has kind of like a purple glitter to it. So I was thinking maybe that. Maybe just that right there. I think I'll do that. Maybe we'll do that with some like silver foil or something. That seems like a plan. Alright, let me grab my molds for that. I'm gonna do, I was looking at like the dice that I have in my 2 sand pile, and I haven't done a like mica drop swirl all that recently, and I really like doing those, so we're gonna do one of those. I want to do one of those. Sure. But I do need to and D2. Cool. Alright, I got all of my things for that. Let me just grab these pigments real quick. See if we can find that one. Oop. And then this one, and I have to stand up. It's far enough away, it's out of my arm's reach. And this one. Alright, cool. And like I said, I think we might do that with like some silver foil or something. It could use something else, or maybe some iridescent flakes, or maybe both. Maybe both. But let me run through what all we're going to be working on tonight. So there's that set, which is just the least important out of all of them. Let's see, I'm working on, I have a set of jumbo dice that I've been working on for a while. Every die is different. And they're all nature themed. Hi Helen, how you doing? I feel like it's been a while. They're all nature themed. And so I made this D10 that has a little lily pad on top. But we decided that it just doesn't really match because it's more cartoony compared to everything else, which is a little bit more like, it just didn't fit like with everything else that had like actual plants and stuff in it. So I'm going to basically do sort of the same thing. So it's mostly like a teal color with some moss in it. It's mostly like teal with some moss in it. So we're going to do that part today, and then I'm going to have like a leaf or something floating on top instead. Have an actual plant. That's the plan with this one. I have, so when you get commissions from me, you get 2 free repours. I made this die, which probably just looks almost just black on screen, but it has some swirls in there. There you go. It has some swirls in there, but it is very dark. It had a lot of ink in it. And so I poured it again with a lot less ink so that you can see the swirls a lot better. Is it gonna, come on. There we go. You can see the swirls a lot better in this one. But we're going to try a third pour for somewhere in the middle. Somewhere with a little bit more ink than this. Very busy. Oh, schools are closed for Thanksgiving break, so you can stay up late. Ah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Happy Thanksgiving, by the way. That's tomorrow. Forgot about that. For folks that celebrate Thanksgiving and are in the States. Let's see here. Yeah, so we're going to try and make one that's kind of in between these two in the amount of like dark color that's in there. Which I think should be doable. I think I added 2 drops of black. I think I added 2 drops of black on this one, which was too much. And then I added less than a drop on this, so we're going to try and just do a drop, I think, of black ink. Well, it's probably going to end up in my shop, assuming that the person doesn't pick this one. So, you know, it might be in my shop at some point. Okay, so we've got those. I have a D2. I tried this one before, and I just didn't like how it turned out. Let me... Do I have it? Yeah. So I'm trying to do kind of like a volcano-y sort of themed dye. So I was trying to do kind of like, you know, it's like magma and it's kind of broken up and you see the orange and yellow stuff underneath it. And I tried it once already, but like it just ended up yellow. I wanted more orange in there. So I'm going to try it again, and it's going to be mostly orange, like a translucent orange, and then I'm going to do kind of a mica drop with some yellow and some red, but just a little bit. So that's the plan for that. And then, as the episode title suggests, I have a set of dice that's going to have little tiny mushrooms in it, and they're going to have other little plants as well. So that's gonna be probably what takes the most time this stream. Move things over, because I need to get everything placed in these. But I think the plan of attack is going to be. So I'm still trying to figure out how I want to attach these, because UV resin would be the most immediate and hold it the strongest, but I don't know that I could get the light to actually get inside the mold. So I think I might end up using Elmer's glue. Hi Jen, how you doing? So I'm thinking on that. I like making tiny mushrooms. All sorts of tiny mushrooms. I should make some more here for a short time. Yeah. I should make some more to make some more necklaces. Let's see here. I think either way, I'm gonna start with the plants that are gonna go around them, because I think once I get the mushrooms in, because they're gonna be kind of centered, it's gonna be hard to get stuff in around them. So I'm going to try and leave like a little tiny blank spot kind of in the middle where I'm going to attach the mushrooms, but let's get some of the plants in there. And I grabbed a few different plants. I grabbed some different mosses, and then I grabbed some kind of neutral-ish flowers. Yeah, because I don't know, it just something for some leaves and some flowers and stuff here to make it a little bit more terrarium-like. But let's see here. I have so much random stuff here. Okay. So for the D20, should I start with the D20 or should I start with the one that's going to be easiest? I'm going to start with the one that's going to be easiest. For the D6, I think the D6 is going to be easiest to put together. Just because, like, it's easy to get in there. I guess the D4 or the D2. The D2 has different, like, difficulties with how shallow it is. I want to put things in there so that they don't make the lid rise up. But we can get the D6 figured out. Actually, before I even do that, let me get the mushrooms to their allotted dice. I did when I was making the mushrooms kind of go, okay, how big are the dice? And like made a little chart for myself so that I can make sure that I make ones that fit. But now I have to remember roughly which ones are which. And I'm assuming one of these larger ones is for the D12. And then one of the larger ones is for the D10. Yeah, that seems right. I know that these little tiny ones are for this bonus D4. And then one of these shorter ones is for this D4, but now I'm thinking, looking at it, that's going to be too tall. Is this one going to be too tall? Yes. So I think one of these ones is going to end up being in that D4. That's fine. It'll work out just fine. Yeah, that'll work better. Actually, will this fit in this D4? Ah! Try not to fling them everywhere. No, that's too tall. That's fine. That is fine. That's for this one, for the keychain. I'll put one of these in our D8. I have a little spare one. It works out just fine. These are just little tiny, letting you in on a little secret. These little mushrooms, quote unquote, are actually just little tiny spheres that I put the stuff on. They're gonna go into the D2 because it's gonna be so shallow that you won't be able to see. Mushroom sized chart is good. Yeah. The D4, it's a good thing I made smaller ones. The D4, the problem is that I didn't really take into account how much space, so I did a layer of dirt basically in all of these already. I didn't take into account how much height that would add in the D4. That's fine. These are gonna go in the D2. Oh, these aren't too tall. All right. So let's get this figured out. So I want to try and balance the plants with the mushrooms because I want everything to fit comfortably. Oh well, also just visually, I want to balance the plants with the mushrooms because I don't want to like cover up the mushrooms too much, but I do want it to look like there's other like foliage there and stuff. Just because I think it'd be nice for there to be some other plants. Okay, let's put a little bit of moss in here. I want to try and set this up so that I can put that in the middle and glue it there. Still debating whether it would be better to try and do the UV resin or Elmer's glue. Elmer's glue, I'm gonna have to sit here for a while, but I guess that's okay. Just pull some of these plants out. And I think I want some stuff that's not just moss in there. It might be nice to have some like other flower type things. Let's see here. Let's see what we can get in here. Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a balancing act. I don't wanna overdo it, but I don't wanna underdo it either. Let's see what I got. So what have you guys been up to? It's Thanksgiving tomorrow for some of us, which should be nice, at least for me. Those could be good. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I'm wondering if I need to kind of glue down some of these flowers and things too. No, I don't think so. Let's add that flower. I'm gonna add a little bit more of this moss. I think I don't want to add too much stuff. So let me add some of this moss. You apparently have a Pavlov thing going on and made a cup of tea right before the notification showed up that I was streaming. I also made a cup of tea right before I started streaming. Perfect. Is this like a Pavlov thing where you make a cup of tea and I start streaming? Maybe I have the Pavlovian response to start streaming whenever you make a cup of tea? That makes sense, right? That makes perfect sense to me. You just better not make a whole bunch of tea, because, I don't know if I have the time for that. I did finally, this is unrelated to that, it was just saying, having the time for things. I did get Uber Eats figured out again, so I'm going to start doing that again. Which works out, because I enjoy doing it. And I can, decide when I do it, which is kind of the main thing, to be honest. Because, what else do we want to put in here? We need some like smaller stuff. Let me put a little piece of like garden fluff in here. Like, I was going to go drive on, I always have tea and it always seems like a good idea. Ah, fair, fair. I was going to go drive on Friday, and then I went and realized how close the bazaar is that I'm going to be doing. Like, it's, alright, tea sounds good, yeah. My thing with tea is always, like, there's tea mentioned in something, I'm just like, oh yeah, I have tea, and then at that point it's gone cold. That's my normal, I see people drinking tea response, just like, oh yeah, tea. Tea sounds good. I'm just grabbing some Elmer's glue here. We're gonna try the Elmer's glue and see if we can get these to stick. We'll see how it goes. I want to add just a little tiny amount because I want it to dry quick. And I just kind of need to tack these in place so that they'll stay upright. Alright. Let's see if we can get these to sit in here. Oh, actually, I might not even need the glue. I think the plants are kind of holding it in place. I don't want them to float, though. Alright, let's see if I can show you what I've got going on here. Here's got a couple of mushrooms in there with a few plants, and there's a kind of a flower there. All nice neutral colors. Yeah, I think I could use a little tiny bit more moss in this corner here. Just a second. Let's see if I can sneak this in here. Alright. Yeah, I think that'll work out fine, actually. And actually, I think the plants are working to help hold the mushrooms up. So I think that might work out just fine. And actually, I guess they're mushrooms, so if they're kind of leaning over a little bit, it's fine. But cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see if we can do the D20. I think the D20 is probably going to be the hardest, maybe. The D20s are just kind of difficult to put stuff in. They're always the ones that you end up putting stuff in. There's a local tea shop that makes their own and sells handmade ceramic mugs. You've been extra tea crazy lately. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I have far too many mugs. I don't think I have any like handmade ones. I have a couple that I painted, but like at a ceramic painting place. But I don't know that I have any I don't know if I have any handmade ones. But there's just something about mugs. I don't know, I like mugs. Alright. Let's see if we can add stuff in here. Yeah, trying to add stuff is kind of a pain in the D20. Ooh, this is a pretty flower. I'm gonna add a little flower in there. I'm trying to get some things in here that's not just like a little bit of moss at the very bottom. Let's get some like taller grass and that sort of thing. It'll help hide any flaws. No. It'll add a little bit more interest. It doesn't need like a ton more interest probably, just because the mushrooms are going to be in there, but I don't know, it makes it a little bit more interesting. I like them all being different. You have a new handmade mug with tentacles. Is your favorite thing? That sounds so cool. Oh, that's fun. I'd love to see a photo of that. Like, that's really fun. Hey, we could put a chamomile flower in there. Ooh, this one's nice. We'll put this one in. Here's this little chamomile flower. Chamomile. I'm not a huge fan of chamomile tea, actually. Like, I feel like it's grown on me a little bit, but I don't know why I don't like it. I'm just not a huge fan. Plum saffron tea. Ooh, 2 favorite things. There we go. Put that in there. Let me put some more of our tall grass. That sounds good. I've never had tea with either of those things, I don't think. But it sounds really good. Let's add some grass. Cool. Just trying to look in here and see. Yeah, I think that'll be good. I don't want to overdo it. Because that's something, I think that's something I've gotten better at. Maybe not. Maybe that's not something I've gotten better at. There's certain things, so, wow, I just said a lot of words and they meant absolutely nothing. I've done art stuff for ever since I was a kid. Not resin stuff, but art stuff. I love painting. I've always loved just making things. And I have always been that person who will, like, get it to a point where I'm okay with it, and then try to continue on and I'll make it worse. And you know what I mean? Like, oh, come on. Like, I'll just overdo it. It'll be fine, and then I add more, and then it just becomes too much. I feel like that is something that I have gotten better at. But at the same time, you don't usually like fruit teas, but it's amazing. Yeah, I'm more of a spice tea person myself, but every once in a while, like, I like a good, like, mango black tea. Ooh, or ginger peach. I like ginger peach tea. That's good, too. But I also like ginger. There we go. I think that's going to be alrighty. We'll see how these turn out. I'm kind of excited. I think these might turn out pretty cool. What was I saying? Oh yeah, I have a tendency to just overdo things, and I think I've gotten better at that. Although at the same time, I like making things that are busy. I've kind of made that my style, I guess, at this point. Like, I like making things that are a little bit busy. But I'm also not great at it, which sounds weird. I'm just bad at thinking about the details. I'm more of a big picture person than a details person, which maybe sounds a little bit weird considering what I'm doing right this second. But that's something that I want to get better at, and that's something that I'm kind of challenging myself with the Minecraft building stuff, is like, as I'm building things or making art in general, trying to figure out like why I am putting, like, what objects would make sense in this space. Like, I always love looking at art that has a lot of like little tiny details in it. And it's just like, man, all of these cinnamon spice, I love a good chai. Chai. But like, I love, it's just like, oh, all of these books on the bookshelf with all these titles make perfect sense for like the character that this piece of art is of. Or, you see like a square and it has all of the like different banners and, and it just has like all of the details that make a place feel alive and lived in. And I'm just not good at those. Like, I don't know. I'm more of a, I guess I do more abstract stuff maybe. I don't know. But I want to get better at that. I want to get better at like thinking about like set design almost. Like, yeah, almost like a set, yeah, almost set design sort of thing. But in just whatever art I'm doing. Maybe it doesn't make as much sense for dice. Unless I'm doing something that's super thematic. So my moss is trying to be funky. Okay, come on. Lie flatten there, moss. This moss does not want to work with me. All right. Come on. Trying to keep it so it's open in the middle like I did with the others. I think that's what's catching me, is I'm trying to keep it open in the middle. Or towards the middle. Doesn't have to be exactly center. They make their own chai mix and it's also amazing. There's pepper in it. Yep, I think that's fairly traditional for chai. It has pepper in it. I did put one of those in the last one. Let's not do that. Let's put this flower in. I think the place that I got really into chai is when I was at university. I was part of a club, and we would do tabling events where we'd be out in like the square with a table, like trying to get people to join the club, basically. So we'd have like a table with like information about the club, and we'd hang out there, various, folks. And every once in a while we would have a table like right next to, I can't remember what it was exactly, but it was like, it was for like Indian students, not Native American, but like it was like a India Heritage Club or something like that. I can't remember what it was exactly, but every once in a while, it doesn't always, but I think that is one of the kind of traditional ingredients is like black pepper. Makes it like a little bit more spicy. Not all chai has that though. A lot of chais, I think, go really heavy on the cinnamon and don't like emphasize many of the other spices in there. Like cardamom. Cardamom's a good one. But anyways, every once in a while they'd have like a big thing of just chai and cups when it was cold out. And man, that was just the best. All right, let's see if we can get a little bit more into this one. This is the D12 that I'm working on now. I'm trying to get some more flowers and things in here. Let's see. I don't think I want to add. These are yours, right, Drebo? Are you still here? I am getting things mixed around in my brain now. About what belongs to who. Yes, hello. These are yours, right? The ones, or you're the one that ordered these, right? It was a Doctor Who club. Did you have a like specific vision for the plants that are with the mushrooms? Maybe that sounds weird, but I was planning on doing just kind of like whites and greens, like kind of very neutral tones. But did you have like any specific colors or anything you wanted with them, like yellow flowers or little specks of purple or anything like that? This is the nice thing about being able to. Okay, cool. Just wanted to check in since you're here. It's just I can. Okay, cool. I'm gonna continue with what I was doing. I have maybe a little bit of yellow with some chamomile flowers, but I think that's just kind of small enough that it's not gonna stick out too much. Let's put a leaf or something in here. Yeah. Come on, leaf. Go where I want you. That's not where I want you. There is a spot off in the corner here that is kind of bare, and I don't like that. I don't want it to be bare on the side. I want it to be rich and lush. I might need some more moss. I think I just need a little bit more moss. And maybe to move some things around a little bit. I have some, oh, I haven't added any of my tall moss yet. Alright, yeah, that was it. You can go back to chilling now. If I have any more questions, though, I'll yell at you. In your general direction, not at you. You know what I mean. Let's see though. Anyways, what were we saying? Yeah, no, I was part of the Doctor Who club when I was at university. I've not kept up to date with it at all. Oh man, how many years ago was that now? That's weird to think about. I swear, because, oh man, that's so weird. It's weird to think that it's been, you know, almost 10 years since I graduated high school. Oh boy. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago. That seems wrong somehow. Okay. Yeah, I want this to feel lush. Again. So is there a specific reason for mushrooms? These are for a commission. These are for a commission. So, you know, that's why I'm making mushrooms. Also, I just like mushrooms. I think they're cool. I love how, like, varied and colorful they can be, and, like, they have such unique shapes and stuff. So, you know, I'm more than happy to do mushrooms. You knew it was a nerdy club when I just said club. I know, yeah. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. That's where a lot of my friends were in that club. That's where I met a lot of my good friends. Let's get this in here. Let's see if we can get that to stand up straight. Okay. No one breathe on it. The friend you're gifting them to also likes mushroom in this. Oh, and this kind is your favorite? Oh, perfect. I really like the Amanita muscaria as well. Just because, like, I don't know, they just feel like the classic, you know? They just feel very classic. I feel like that's what when people say mushroom, that's just what I think of. Despite them being, I think, pretty poisonous. I believe they're pretty poisonous. I think they might also be hallucinogenic, I'm not sure. But very poisonous. Alright, let's see if I can get my moss in here. I'm gonna need to get more moss soon. I'm starting to run low. I've been using so much of this, I guess. I guess, to be fair, I got this a long while ago. So it's not too surprising that I'm finally starting to run a little bit low on the moss. This is the slightly shorter one. Okay. Alright, let's add we'll add another chamomile flower to the D10. I didn't add it to the, did I add to that? No, I don't think I added one to the D12. I also grew up on Monty Python. Didn't grow up on Rocky Horror Picture Show. I didn't watch that one until it might have been college almost. But no, I did grow up on Monty Python. It's kind of funny. I feel, because I remember mentioning, I think I did it backwards. Because I grew up on Monty Python, and then I got into Doctor Who once I was in, like, college. It's just like, this seems a little bit backwards. Rating-wise. Yeah, no, there's a thing, I think fairly close to us, that, like, every Halloween does a showing of Rocky Horror Picture Show. I went with a friend who goes every year, a couple of years ago, obviously, before the pandemic. and it was a lot of fun. I feel like that's a movie that is it's not as interesting to watch alone. I feel like that's something that you gotta watch in a theater. It's one of those movies where the whole point is to heckle. And there's some films and stuff that are just it's fun to watch them with friends so that you can talk over them, which sounds weird, but like I at one point I had a friend and we'd meet up at his house around Halloween and we would watch really awful movies. I mean, like ones that were just so stupid, and like the whole point was that we were just gonna hang out and like make fun of movies. I mean, it's a good time. It's a good time. I'm not saying that making fun of Rocky Horror Picture Show, but I feel like it is one that is fun to watch with other people. You do the live play. Oh yeah. Oh, come on. No, I don't want you in the middle. I'm trying to get things to stay towards the sides so that I can put the mushroom where it needs to go. Okay, I think we're getting a little bit closer here. I'm trying to get things. It's really interesting. I don't know what made me think of this. I think it was making these, because these are kind of partially based on some dice that I've made in the past. And they were actually some of the dice that I made towards the very beginning of when I was making dice. And I think I've gotten a lot better at what I'm at making dice. Which I feel like that's maybe it makes make fun of Rocky Horror Picture Show. That's the whole deal. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's fun to heckle. I always feel bad almost saying that I think I've gotten a lot better at making dice, because it's just like, hey, if you've gotten something from me in the past, I don't want you to like feel like you got ripped off or something, but I do think I've gotten better, which is a good thing. I've been putting a lot of time and stuff into it. But I'm just thinking about the process of making these versus the process of making the terrarium dice that these are kind of roughly based off of, and just you can tell I grew up with British TV. Wait. Why? Do I just say certain Britishisms or something? Is it because every once in a while I call it the boot of my car? Is that what it is? No, I'm actually curious how, or is it just a sense of humor or something? What was I saying? Oh, yeah, just how I'm making these differently from how I made those original ones. And it's just like, I think these are gonna turn out better because I know what I'm doing a lot more. Like, I know how the different materials are gonna behave. And I think that's part of it too, is just knowing how the different materials are gonna behave. It's like, and I mean, can still be a pain in the butt. This moss likes to move around where I don't want it to, but I don't know. It's but I was actually I can't remember how we got there, but my dad was looking at my Facebook page for my shop stuff, and he asked me like how I got two colors to stay separate, and like it was one of those moments where I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I didn't think you were. Wait, what do I say? Oh, now I'm really curious, because like it's not something that I am conscious when I was at university. To be honest, actually, the reason I say when I was at university is because I went from a community college to a university and then back to a local college. And so it's confusing if I don't say university, because I've been to so many different colleges that's how I differentiate between the two that I kind of went to mostly. Yeah, because if I said at college, I'd probably mean the college that I graduated from. Yeah. That one's actually, yeah, that one's born out of necessity of trying to distinguish between two different colleges that I went to. But yes, I guess that is a very British way of saying that. At university. When I was at university. Alright, put a leaf in here. Ah. Okay, here. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Other specific. Yeah, I am curious. If I do it, point it out, because I'm really curious now, because like I'm not aware of it. I'm not aware of it at all. There are certain things that I've just like, I don't know. Yeah, the university one I am somewhat aware. I was somewhat aware of, because that isn't a natural way of speaking here. Like, most people don't call it university. They'd call it college. But yeah, now I'm curious. We're back to my curiosity about language stuff, I guess. I'm always curious about language stuff. Anyways, what were we talking about? Can't remember what we were talking about. What were we talking about? I think just that I think I've gotten better at making dice. Oh, I was talking to my dad. I was talking to my dad about dice, and he asked me how I kept two colors separate. And, like, my response to him was, part of it's just, like, the materials and, like, when you add them and stuff. And it was one of those things where I had a realization that I knew how to use the materials that I was working with, which sounds strange, maybe, like, it sounds like a weird thing to have an epiphany about, but it was one of those moments where I could not explain to him how I did it, because there's so many specific things that I had to do to get it to work that way. Sort of. But there's just a lot of little factors, and I realized that, oh, those are all second nature to me now. See, we're talking to someone who did not grow up with British TV a while ago and said that something was thin on the ground, which is apparently not an American thing. Thin on the ground? Yeah, I don't know that. That's not thin on the ground. I don't know if I've ever heard that. I did, here's a funny story, though. I got super into British panel shows when I was at college. I got super into British panel shows at one point, and I watched so much QI in like a week. I was stressed. But I watched so much QI in a week at one point that my internal monologue had the voice of Stephen Fry. That was an interesting time. It's just like, oh, that's weird. I think I need to do something else. Man, it's interesting looking back on some things and just going and realizing how much sense it makes to have ADHD. Because like there's certain things where like I look back at when I was in university, and boy was I stressed, and I also had no idea how to manage my time. Oh, not widely available, difficult to find. That makes sense. Okay. I wonder if that's one of those ones where if like I heard it in context, I I wouldn't even think about it. Probably. All right, let's get our mushroom in here. Let's get our mushroom in here. Come on, glue. Okay. Come on, let me get. Yeah, there we go. Got another mushroom in there. They seem to be staying up on their own pretty well, actually. They seem to be staying upright, just kind of leaning against all of the moss and everything. I'm doing pretty good, which I'm glad. That makes my life a lot easier. All right, moving on to the D8. This is actually going, yeah, this is going quicker than I thought it would. I thought this would take quite a while. Maybe that's part of it too. To be fair, I spent a bunch of time making the mushrooms. Spent quite a bit of time making the mushrooms. Just a second here. My brain, was buffering there for a second. I mean, that's just my normal brain, but I just went dead silent as I just like, how put moss in mold? Moss in mold. Yes, moss. Come on. I'm trying to get things so that there's room in the center. And that's easier said than done, because the moss wants to go where the moss wants to go. That was again a lot of words that meant absolutely nothing. Okay, cool. Let's start adding some stuff. I wonder if I could add another one of these flowers, or if that would be too big. Let's see here. Oh, that might work actually. Yeah, that might work. We got another one of the flowers. That'll be good. Those would be too big. Let's see here, what do we got? We got another little chamomile flower. Okay. I need some more of this moss. I'm like, I'm missing something. What am I missing? It's this moss over here that I've been adding to like all of them, and I haven't added to this one yet. I like this moss because it kind of looks like grass. So it works well for kind of like the kind of tall grassy bits. Adds a little bit of height. The moss is a little bit thinner on this one. Don't know how I feel about that. I would prefer if it was a little bit thicker. All right. Oh, that's just kind of sitting on top. All right. I could probably put a little bit more, just steal a little bit of, nah, I'm gonna hold on to that moss. Another one of my little, I have some little fluffy bits from a flower. They're kind of like dandelion fluff things, but almost like smaller almost. I'm gonna add a couple of those over here. And then we'll add our mushroom in. This one might need a little bit more of random moss and stuff around it. Let's see. So what have folks been up to for fun? Done any fun things recently, or have any plans for fun things? What with like the holiday and stuff? Let's see. I'm going over to my parents' house for lunch tomorrow. That's my Thanksgiving plan. That'll be nice. I expect that my brother is making he was gonna make a bundt cake for that. I would expect, I think he's probably upstairs making that right now, actually. This could use a little bit more moss around it. Let's add something here. Let's see if we can add something here. It's just a little bit bare around the base of the mushroom. The mushroom is staying up really well on its own, but let's add a little bit more moss down here. There we go. Okay, there we go. So you've been working on making a notebook for a Christmas present. Ooh, so far bookbinding is fun. That's cool. That's one of those things where I've wanted to try out bookbinding, and then I just have never made the time. That's super cool. I'd love to see photos of how it turns out. There we go, there's a little bit of moss. Oh, my phone just buzzed. I got a message or something. I should have put that on silent. Is there a theme or anything for the notebook? You made a new quilt for yourself. Oh wow, that's a lot of work. Which your whole family said was ugly, and now take turns stealing. They're just like, that reminds me of maybe it's just my family that does this, where they'll get a piece of food, they'll get some food or something, and people will be like, oh, how is it? And they'll be like, oh, it's absolutely terrible. You shouldn't have any, while they're eating it. Just because they're just like, no, I'm gonna eat all of this. There's not enough for both of us. Sounds like that. It's a work record book for your dad. Oh, cool. You're currently crocheting scarves for 2 of your coworkers. Oh, currently crocheting. All of the fiber arts. All of the fiber arts. Very cool. A lot of work going into those, sounds like. What was I just about to say? Can't remember. There was something I was going to say. I don't remember what I was saying. I mean, that's fairly on par. That seems on par for me. I don't know what I'm saying half the time. Come on. I'm trying to get it so that there's a spot to put the mushroom. There we go. All right, I think I found a spot. Quick, go for it. Your family does the "this is terrible, don't eat it" thing. Okay, good. Good to know it's not just us. What was I? I think I was talking about Thanksgiving. Was I talking about Thanksgiving plans? Oh, I was going to out myself and say that I've been trying to do some digital art, which I'm not super familiar or comfortable with. Jen can attest to this, because I've been sending her photos of progress photos as I attempt to do digital art. So that's been fun. It's taken me far too many hours. I've spent far too many hours on a single piece. Oh, hi there. How you doing? Jane Cat Streams. We're making some dice with little terrariums in them. We got little mushrooms. So adding all sorts of plants, and then some little polymer clay mushrooms that I made that are here. They're kind of like this one. You're new. Yes, welcome. And I'm just going down the line here and getting all of the plants in. Resin art's so fun. Do you do resin art stuff yourself? I do mostly dice. I've been trying to get some jewelry made. That's something I'm doing a holiday bazaar in a couple of weeks. Doing like a Christmas bazaar. And oh, what's this? Oh, thanks for following. what sort of stuff do you make? But I'm trying to get some like jewelry done for that, which is not my, you know, usual go-to stuff that I do. And I have, you're selling at Comic-Con this weekend. Oh, that's so cool. That's super cool. Man, I'd love to do a con someday. Make dice and mainly jewelry. Oh, okay, cool. Maybe you're the person I need to talk to. I have, here, I have some things as an example. So, I've made like keychains and stuff in the past. So that's what's going to be, this is going to be. This is for a commission. And so when I do a set of dice, I usually do an extra die and a keychain. And I have like these little crystal molds. And what I do to add the top is I have a little music notation. Oh, okay, cool. I don't play a lot of games. Little like pin that has like a flat head on it. And I put it there, I like tack it there with a little bit of glue and then add another layer of resin to attach it. I have a bunch of, oh, it's kind of like this. This is an old, really old one back before I had a pressure pot, but there's like a little, oh, come on. Maybe it'll find it. Come on. You can do it. There you go. Has a little flat pin. But the thing is, I have a bunch of just random crystals that I made a long time ago because I used to use it as a dump mold. And some of them are rather pretty. These are actually the ones that aren't as pretty. But they're out of the mold now, and I'm not sure how to attach a top to it to make it look good. That's where I'm at. I'm thinking maybe I want to drill into them and add like a little screw pin hoop. I don't know. I can't think of what you... Did a few crystals and then put washi tape around any imperfections. Oh, yeah. Small hand drill. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I'm just not sure how to like finish them. Like how to make the tops look finished. Maybe add some sort of like beads or something. Like a bead in between. I just worry that it looks too like rough. Yes, I do have a Discord. It should be down in the description there. Feel free to come show off the stuff you've been making. I'd love to see it. But that's on my to-do list for tomorrow. Oh, yes, that works too. I think that's on my to-do list for tomorrow. Either tomorrow or the next day. I'm going to try and figure out how to do all the jewelry stuff. Because it's just, I'm not sure what I want to do there. Darn it. Okay, all of my moss is working against me. Come on. Oh, you know what I might do? I think I'm just going to tack down. Have I done resin pours? You mean like big things type thing? On like a flat plane? Like acrylic pours? Is that sort of what you're talking about? I haven't, if that's what you're talking about. Yeah, that's that is why I have a pressure pot. Yeah, I haven't. I've been wanting to do like acrylic pours even too. Getting some flow. Actually, I might have some acrylic flow medium now that I think about it. I'd have to look. Love to do that. That'd just be fun. No, I have a pressure pot that I put these into. So I cure them while they are under pressure, and that squishes all of the bubbles down so small that you can't see them. Let me see if I have an example somewhere. So that's without a pressure pot. What kind of dice are these? These are D&D dice. So D20, D12, 2D10, D8, D6, and D4. Here, let me find an example for you. Here. Grab these. These are nice and easy to see. I also have a D2 here that I'm doing, which is just a little coin. This was like my first attempt at doing the kind of like a mica drop swirl, but so it's a set of dice like this. Has my little logo on them. But I do other dice too. Yeah, this is for a commission though. So someone messaged me and was like, "Hey, can I get dice with mushrooms in them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like doing commissions." Yep. Two-part resin. I've just been using Art and Glow. It's what I kind of started out with, and it works well for me, so I haven't changed it. I did get some different resin recently, and I still have yet to try it out. It's in a box to my right here. And it's one of those things where it's like, oh, I should really try that out at some point, and I just haven't made the time to do it. But I probably should. Alright, there we go. That's a little bit better. A little bit better. I was trying to get this a little bit more evenly coated. It doesn't need to be completely coated. Lately you've been making jewelry out of Pokemon cards when you resin the tops. Been using UV resin and it's instant cure. Oh yeah, I use UV resin every once in a while. It's kind of good for different things. I use UV resin if I want to like coat something before I put it into the mold, because like, so I made like little, here. So I made these mushrooms, but I made like little polymer clay skulls fairly recently. I'm gonna put these in dice at some point, but I made little polymer clay skulls, and I found that if the polymer clay is like right against the edge, when I go to like sand, like the edge of the mold, when I go to sand and polish it, like it might start to get like worn off a little bit. So some of like the polymer clay things or other things that I don't want to like accidentally sand and stuff, I'll coat with UV resin before I put them into the mold, so that there's a little bit of a buffer. I was debating between using UV resin and Elmer's glue to tack all of these mushrooms in place, and I finally decided that Elmer's glue would work better, just because I don't think the light would actually permeate it. Like, it wouldn't get in there enough to actually cure it. So that's why I'm doing that. Do I have, let's add, I want to add some flowers. Let's see here. I'm going to, let's add one of our little green flowers, because that's flat enough. Oops, maybe not quite flat enough. Let me cut this down a little bit. Oh my gosh, let go. Okay, there we go. We got it. Tiny skulls. Hey, I wonder where I got that idea, Helen. I wonder where I got the idea for tiny skulls. That's one of the things that I like doing, about doing commissions, is that it gives me ideas for things to do in the future. It also gives me like an excuse to actually take the time to do certain things, like dice with tiny skulls in them, because like making tiny skulls takes a lot of time. You have no time. Yeah, it takes a lot of time to make little tiny polymer clay things. You need to make stuff to sell on Sunday. Oh gosh, do you need to head out? If you need to head out, that's a-okay. I'll be here again on, well, I might be playing Minecraft on Saturday, but I'll be, oh, okay. No, that's where I'm at too, though, is, I'm restocking the shop. You're just procrastinating. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah. As long as you're just procrastinating, it's good. But I'm restocking the shop on the 3rd, and then I have a bazaar that I'm going to on the 11th. Tiny skulls are a fantastic idea, but you'll take credit if I want. Eating pizza. Ooh. I had a bagel. Before I came down here, which was a good decision. I like bagels. Alright, so I'm going to put these in here. I'm hoping that this is not too tall. I guess even if it is a little bit like too tall almost, we might still be okay. Come on. Because if the lid's up a little bit, I'm just going to sand the sides anyways. I think it'll be fine. Where am I from? I mean, I have no problem saying, but that's a little presumptuous, don't you think? Just a second here. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, though, so I'm from the U.S. There we go. I think that'll work. Yeah. I don't know if I like the layout of the mushrooms. Oh, like U.S. or USA. My address is, no, yeah, no, I'm in the U.S. I'm in the Pacific Northwest. Trying to kind of make things, you know, it's one of those things where I'm trying to make it look random. And to make it look random, I need to place these really specifically. That's good enough. Social security number, yeah. You're in Florida. Oh, we are at like the complete opposite ends of the U.S. We are as like far away from each other as we could be, probably. Like you're like bottom right hand corner. I'm the top left hand corner. What Comic-Con are you going to, if you don't mind my asking? I don't know if it's a local one or something, or... Oh, your sister lives in Seattle. I went to school in Seattle. I was literally just talking about university. No, I went to UW, so, that's, it's fun over there. I really enjoyed living in Seattle. I have a lot of friends there. I don't know. There's always a lot of stuff to do there. I could spend hours in Pike Place Market. That is, yeah, that's definitely the complete opposite of Florida. Southwest Florida Comic-Con is a small one. Oh, okay. That's still cool though. That's still very exciting. So, I assume you're selling like your jewelry and stuff, like your Pokemon card themed stuff. You want to go back there? I want to go to Seattle too. I've been talking about going to Seattle with some friends. Probably not. I'm originally from Massachusetts. Done with snow. Valid. No, I've been talking with some friends about going to Seattle at some point, but it's one of those things where it's just like, let's wait until like things have settled down a bit before we go traveling at all. Yeah, we were gonna go, not to Seattle, but we were gonna go on like a little trip for my birthday back in 2020. And then literally, I think the week before, we decided to, we were talking about going, we went into lockdown. Let's see, selling mishmash for a lot of crap, whatever you can get rid of. Fair. That's kind of where I'm at for the bazaar that I'm doing, because it's like I've mostly moved to resin now. Like I used to do some soap, and I've mostly moved to resin now, but I'm like, I don't know if that's the right demographic for dice. I don't know if a Christmas bazaar is the right demographic to sell dice. So I'm bringing all my dice stuff, but I'm just like, okay, I better make some jewelry. I'm gonna make some soap. Bring that as well. So I'm gonna have all sorts of random stuff at my little table. I'm gonna have resin stuff and soap. Oh, your wedding was February 2020, so you dodged that bullet. Yes, literally like a couple weeks before shutdown. Yep. Yeah, no, my birthday's in March. So we were gonna go somewhere for my birthday, and then it's just like, well, never mind. It was so strange. It was so strange. It's also funny looking back. I did, oh, you're a school teacher. So, I bet. My dad's also a school teacher. He said things are weird this year. Like everyone's weird this year. The students are weird. The teachers are weird. Just like everyone's weird this year. which makes sense to me. Like, oh, you teach elementary music? That's so much fun. If I was going to be a teacher, I would want to be an elementary school art teacher because I love little kids. They're so much fun. I love how willing they are to just do stuff creatively. Art is so fun. Yes, it is. It's so much fun. That sounds like a lot of fun. I did band all through school. It's been so long since I've fun teachers. Yeah, you get to be one of the fun teachers. It's been so long. So I played trombone all through school, and it's been so long since I've played. I'm thinking about it now. It's been a long time since I've played trombone. Yeah, trombone. But it's probably been years. I still have my trombone. The students are feral this year. Yeah. Oh, he plays saxophone. That's kind of according to my dad, the staff is also like really weird this year. I don't know if everyone's in education here. It sounds like, since Helen's also does school stuff. But yeah, he says that like the adults are weird this year too. I don't know, even just like, it's like everyone's kind of lost social skills a bit, it seems like. Like everyone's just kind of like doesn't know how to interact with people. And I think part of it also, like I have a theory that like people are just depressed, which maybe sounds bad or something, but it's just like everyone needs social interaction to a certain extent. Like cabin fever is a thing, and so not having any human interaction apart from your immediate family, or if that, for 2 years is gonna mess with you. I don't know. I don't know. It's been nice getting to kind of see people a little bit again. I did stay in contact with my immediate family during the lockdown. We live in the same town and everything, and we just stayed in. Your staff is burned out this year. Yeah, you're very ready for this break. Yeah, I'm glad that you're getting a little bit of a break. How much of a break is it? Is it like a full week, or is it just like a long weekend for you? There's that. I think these are all set to go. How strange. You get the full week off. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, let me start putting some plants back in here. Get them out of the way. Because I think we've got our little terrariums all made. I do want this moss. I'm going to need that for the D10 that we're making. A jumbo D10. But let me get these out of the way first. Okay. And just... Oh, no, I haven't poured the resin yet. I'm getting all of my things into the molds where they need to go, and then we'll mix up our resin and pour it. So let's see here. You didn't get a full week. You feel like you could have done e-learning Monday and Tuesday. Oh, yeah, fair. Let's put these away. Oops. I don't think I need that moss anymore. So we'll put that up and away. Up and away. I don't always. For things like this where I know it's going to take me, well, it's, an hour to put stuff in, I know that I wouldn't have the work time of the resin. So I'm doing it first. For things where, like, usually with plants and stuff, I usually like to dip them in resin before putting them in the mold, just to try and get rid of air bubbles and stuff. But you know, in this case where, like I said, I know that I'm not going to have the time, it's just easier for me to get everything placed first and then cross my fingers and hope for the best that I'm not going to end up with a whole bunch of air bubbles. I'll pour these first so that they get poured while the resin is the most, like, most runny. We'll go with that. So that we can hopefully avoid too much air. We'll give it so, you know, so that it's easier and there's more time for the air to rise to the surface. All right, this one we are, I explained this at the beginning, but I don't know who's joined since then. I'm doing a jumbo set of dice, so big dice. I have, like, here's a normal D20, and then here's this D10. And each die is different, and they're all kind of nature themed. And like, we both agree that I painted a lily pad on here, and we both kind of agreed that, like, it just doesn't match the other ones. It's just almost a little too cartoony or something. So I'm gonna do basically the same thing here. So I have kind of a teal resin with moss in it, and then we're gonna add like a leaf or something on top. So I'm gonna do that first. Pour again with the teal resin and the moss. So I'm just gonna add the moss here. That's pretty much what's happening. And I don't really want it too tall, but I want to get kind of both of the colors in here. Okay. How did I paint the lily pad? So I went and poured, you can kind of see if I have it at an angle, let's see. You can kind of see there's kind of two layers there. I went and poured the teal most of the way up, and then I went and let that cure, and then I took some acrylic paint and I painted it on while it was still in the mold. So I went and, you know, painted through the top here, through the opening, and then poured in my clear resin. I'm trying to add in the moss now. Come on. Doesn't want to stay down. Ah, stay down. No, get in there. Okay. The moss does not want to stay in there. I've done that with some jewelry too, actually. Here, I have a necklace here. Let me grab it. Which one is it? I'm kind of excited about this. I have it in my polishing tumbler. I'm kind of excited about this this necklace though, because I think it turned out pretty cute. I went and poured a black layer of resin, and then I went and painted it with acrylic paint, and then poured clear resin on top. Did a little starry night thing. So I should make more of these because I like how this turned out. Actually, that's looking pretty polished, but put that back in the tumbler to polish a little bit more, maybe. I'll sort through those after the stream and see what is ready to come out of the polisher. Oh, there we go. Now things are sitting a little bit better in there. That's what I wanted. I should figure out some more art streams that are not resin. So, like, to be fair, I've been doing a lot of resin on recently just because I've had commissions that I'm working on. But it might be fun to do. Yeah, so when these come out of the molds, just partially because of how they're, because there's like the lids like this, I often end up with like a lip of resin. Let's see if, it's kind of hard to see, but there's kind of like a lip here. And so I sand those down, and then of course it ends up kind of matte. And then I'm not very good at polishing them by hand. And so I sand them down to kind of a rough finish, and then I throw them into a like a kind of a tumbler. Yeah, it's just a tumbler with some like little hardwood cubes and some plastic polish, and leave them in there for like 2 weeks, and then they come out super shiny. Oh, thanks, Helen. Yeah, I'm happy with how that turned out. So I'm thinking maybe I should make some more of those. Since I liked how it ended up so much. I should, oh, you know what I should do? We should have another painting stream. I should work on the painting that I'm in the middle of. That's what I should do. Just work on the painting that I'm in the middle of. I'm always like, I don't know what I'm gonna paint. I have a painting that is just partially done that I should just work on. Duh. But also, you know, I've been enjoying playing Minecraft on Saturdays because it gives me an excuse to play Minecraft. I don't play a lot of video games at all. You're gonna lurk. Okay, have fun. I don't play a lot of video games at all. But I've been having a lot of fun with Minecraft. I like building things. Alright, there we go. I think we've got our moss in there. That seems pretty good. Yeah, it was nice meeting you too. I'm glad you could come hang out for a little bit. Good luck with your with the Comic-Con and getting all your stuff done for that. Alright, I think that's good on that moss. Okay, so we've got our little terrariums, we've got our moss there. Next up we have our Jumbo D20 with the smoke in it. For that, I don't really need anything too special. I do want a mixing cup here because it's not going to be just plain clear. It's going to be clear with a little bit of shimmer in it. So let's get the mixing cup here, and we'll put a little bit of shimmer in here. I think we're to the point where I'm just going to put all of my different pigments and stuff into little containers so we can mix them up. So got a little bit of shimmer. I like a good little bit of shimmer. It's nice. That has other pigment on it. Let's not do that. Trying to find a stir stick here. All right, there we go. So we've got our nice glittery mica powder here. And I don't want this to be like so much glitter that you can't see through it. So I'm just going to add a little bit. So I'm just dipping that, and we'll stir that into the resin. I'll set that up here. And then we have our black ink as well. I'll put these back in here. Every time you see the giant dice, you want some, even though you have no reason to have a giant D20. Yeah, I mean, do you even play with a gaming system that uses a D20? Come on. Putting my Elmer's glue back. Goblin brain. Ooh, shiny. There's something really fun about things that are bigger than normal and things that are smaller than normal. Like, I don't know. I do think that making dice that were even smaller would be like little tiny dice. I don't know why, but like that idea is just like, yes, that'd be cool. But also I think those would be a pain. I think making little tiny dice would be a pain. Okay. Let's get all of our pigments figured out. So this is just gonna be a set of dice, and I was thinking the purple, the pink, and then like this one, which has kind of a purple shimmer to it. You don't use any of these D20, but but it's fun though, yeah. Yeah. Now I'm thinking that it would be fun to make oversized fate dice. I wonder if I could. So I need to figure out. I need to figure out what. I'd really like to be able to use the silicone that I currently use to make molds, but I need to figure out then a resin that I can use with the Resin 3D printer that's not gonna melt them. Because the problem is that a lot of the resin for the Resin 3D printers reacts poorly with the silicone, at least with the platinum cure. I guess I could get some tin cured silicone, but it reacts poorly with the platinum cure silicone and makes it so that it doesn't cure. So I need to find the right resin for it. Which I don't know. And so the thing is, like, I've held off on ordering any more Dice Masters because I'm just like, man, I'd like to be able to make my own because I have the equipment for it now for the most part, but I think I need a different resin for that. Wouldn't that be fun though? I think the next thing that I actually want to do dice wise, like the next like sort of kind of dice that I want to make is ones for like Vampire the Masquerade, which is like D10s but with symbols on them, partially just because I think my logo would match up really well with kind of the existing design of those dice. Like, I could integrate that really easy. But like now that we've said giant fate dice, it's just like, oh, that could be cool though. All right. Okay, yes, I'm grabbing mixing cups. Yeah, no, I don't know. It's one of those things where I've held off on getting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of stuck, I guess. I'm in one of my stuck modes where it's just like I don't know what I need to get my Resin 3D printer to work so that I can make molds, but I don't want to order masters that I know will work at the moment because I theoretically could make them myself. So I really need to I need to figure out what I need. I need to figure out what I need. Yeah. You didn't even know you used dice for Masquerade? It's like D10s, I guess. And it's kind of like a cat hair and molds check. Wait, what molds is there cat hair in? Oh, for rolling. That's what we're rolling for. Yes. I thought you were telling me to check the molds for cat hair, and I'm like, there's always cat hair in the molds. What are you talking about? Of course. Free cat hair with every set of dice. That's like my motto at this point. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Have all of you guys seen the cat hair dice that I made? Because, like, it became such a meme in my chat that I finally just went and made cat hair dice. Have all of you seen them? That's good enough. Purple. Because I do have that, unfortunately. I do have cat hair dice, unfortunately. The what? Yeah, it's a cat hair dice. Folks were teasing me in the chat about making dice out of cat hair since I have so much of it in the molds anyways. And I was like, okay, fine. And I went and opened up the drawer to my right and pulled out a bag of cat hair because I had that. But let's see if I can get it so you can see. It doesn't want to focus. Doesn't want to focus. But yes, intentional cat hair dice. Yeah, you can kind of see through it there. You can see the cat hair. I feel like I need to explain myself a little bit about why I had a bag of cat hair, and it's not gonna like make it seem any better. But, and yeah, I have a full set of them here. I never actually sanded and polished these, but it actually looks really cool though. The two responses that I got when I posted photos of those online were, "This is cursed," which, fair, and also, "Oh hey, this actually would be kind of cool, like a cool memorial thing for a deceased pet," and I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's also fair." No, the reason I had a bag of cat hair is because I wanted to try out needle felting. And so I got some wool roving and stuff, but I can't remember the exact context, but I was just like, I bet I could do needle felting with cat hair. And so I went and brushed the cat at one point, and I put it in the Ziploc bag. And I'm like, I'll try this out at some point. And so it's in the shelf drawer over here that has all of my needle felting stuff in it. And it, just so happened, I'm like, I think I have. Can't believe I didn't put glitter in those. I mean, I wanted it to be the pure cat hair experience. So I decided to be a purist and just go for the cat hair and not the glitter. But maybe the next time I make cat hair dice, I'll add glitter. Oh dear. Yeah, that's fine. That's good enough. All right. I think, so this is the colors here. I'm kind of debating if I want to add like silver foil. I think silver would look good. And maybe like iridescent flakes or something. I don't know. Silver foil and iridescent flakes. I'm not 100% sure what I want to add. Or I was gonna say I could add glitter. Pure unfiltered cat hair. We could add some glitter as long as it's a really fine glitter. So I could maybe do like, holographic glitter. I could do, I don't think multi-chrome flakes would look good. I don't think the holographic glitter would look good either. I think I'm just gonna do this. I think I'm gonna do the iridescent flakes and the silver foil with these, because these are already kind of shimmery, and so I think adding glitter would like detract from the kind of glittery shimmeriness of those. That does mean, however, that I need another mixing cup. Let's just grab, that'll work as a mixing cup. Who is texting me? Can you guys hear the buzzing? I don't know what's going on in the group chat right now. There's something going on in the group chat right now. All right. Let me think about this for just a second. So I'm going to do kind of like a mica drop swirl. I don't know if there's an actual word for it. That's just what I call it. But so we're gonna super saturate the resin with mica powder, and then put that on the top, and it's gonna kind of fall through the rest of the resin because mica is stone, and so it's heavier than resin. It's like, it's ground up really fine, so it's not like super heavier than the resin. It's not gonna like weight them or anything, but it's heavier than the resin, so it's gonna try and sink. But it doesn't take very much. And we're going to do that with these 3 colors. A full set of dice is about 30 milliliters. Mail me a bag of pure rat hair. What am I? Oh, gosh. It's like the cat hair dice, but with a typo. It's like someone asked me to make cat hair dice, and then I like misheard. But I'm trying to think of how much resin I'm going to need. So 30 total. Let's say probably about 2.5, 2.5, 2.5 of each of these. It's not going to take very much. And so that's 7.5. So we're going to need, what, 22.5? Yes. No. Yes, 22.5. This is the creepiest Christmas gift ever. So about 22.5 milliliters of resin. I want to know how much resin I'm going to be doing, so I have kind of an idea of how much of this stuff to add to it. That might not be enough, but I want it to be sparse enough that I can see the other stuff going through it. We can always add more if we need to. Like, I have a tendency to not add enough, but we're going to have that, and we're going to have the silver foil, and then we're going to have those colors running through it. And I want to be able to see the colors running through it, so let's hold off there. Oh, hello, silver foil. We're going to add some of that. Oh my gosh, it's so staticky. Okay. Let's add just a little bit more. I think that'll probably be enough. Oh my gosh, we'll add the stuff that's just trying to fly everywhere. It's so thin and staticky. It's trying to fly everywhere. It's always a fun time trying to close this bag without getting silver foil everywhere. Okay. There we go. There's a piece stuck on my sweater. All right, cool. We've got that. Might as well, oh my gosh, it's trying to like fluff out of the mixing cup now too. Let's start adding it to our little mixing cups here. Like I said, this is going to be about 2.5 milliliters, and I want to add enough that it is going to kind of super saturate the, it's going to kind of super saturate the resin. I don't have as much of this one. This one might actually be a little bit less than 2.5 because I don't have a ton of this pigment, so I don't want to add all of it, but we'll add a bit. That was a pretty big scoop of that. Might be able to do 2.5. Yeah, I think that's probably plenty. Oh, let me put this back in here. I mean, I appreciate that these are double bagged, but at the same time, like, I have to keep putting them back. I guess I could put them in a new container, but because it has the label of what it is on the outside. All right, there's that. I still need to figure out all of my Christmas gifts for people. I'm gonna be making a soap dish for one of my grandmas. I got the molds for that. And I got the mixing cups for it now, thanks to Jen. Okay, let's add a bit of this. About 2.5, yeah, that's probably enough, right? Yeah, I think that's enough. Those are still upstairs. I need to bring them down, but I am excited. I now have a couple of 250 milliliter mixing cups. This is 100 milliliters. And so I mostly still work with 100 milliliters of resin at a time because that's about how much you know, that's about 3 sets of dice, and that's about how many dice I can get done within the, like, working time of the resin, especially if I'm doing, like, a bunch of different dice. But I have some molds that are bigger, and they're like, you know, 100 milliliters or 150 milliliters of resin, and so it just doesn't work out so well. Oops, that is, I zoned out and added probably more than is needed here. Just a second. Yeah, that seems fine. And so for some of those bigger ones, like, I could do like 2 100 milliliter things at the same time, and I'd still have the working time because I'm not like doing a bunch of little things. I don't know how to explain that. It takes time to make a lot, like, there's a certain amount of time that it takes to make an object. So if I'm making fewer objects but with more resin, they won't take as much time as it would take to make, you know, 3 slightly smaller objects probably. Depending on the design and everything. So I'm kind of excited because now I could make some things that take more resin, but I could make like more than one at once. Okay, then we have our D2 here, and I need a mixing cup for my yellow, and I need a mixing cup for my red, and I need a mixing cup for, that's the red. And then I need one for orange. Okay. I think this will work out just fine. It's always kind of satisfying pulling the resin out of these mixing cups. I mean, I should probably do it before stream. I have so many like mixing cups over here that have cured resin in them. I need to get some more of these mixing cups, actually. I need to add that to my things I should get at some point. Because they're just such a good size. And I like having the amounts on the side. It's useful. Honestly, if there's some little bitty flakes of red in there, I think that's fine. We're going for kind of a volcano-y sort of look. There's some little bits, little flakes of that this dark maroon red. It'll work out just fine. It'll add to it. That was kind of the original plan, was I was going to do kind of like little flakes of some darker colors. And then, I don't know, I don't know why the idea changed. I think I just decided this would be kind of easier and maybe also look better, but we'll see. I'm gonna try it once. We'll see how it looks. You watch a lot of how-to videos, usually for quilting tricks, and it never fails to amuse you when whoever's making a thing has that it's fine moment, because there's always one of those. Yeah. It's like, good enough. It's good enough. Okay, we don't actually need very much of these at all. I think that's going to be in plenty. I need to make sure that I add little enough resin that it actually is nice and saturated. Okay, same with this red here. You know, that's something about like art like making things too that I've kind of noticed is like, and I don't say that I've noticed, this is something that like is well documented, I guess, but most people are like more critical of things that they've made than of things that other people have made. Like the flaws that I see in the things that I make, other people don't necessarily see, and like the flaws that other people see in their works, I probably don't see. I did a dice exchange with a friend not too long ago. Makes you feel better when it happens to you. Yeah, there was, that reminds me of a different thing, but dice related. But I did a dice exchange with a friend, and they got the dice from me, and I got the dice from them. And we were both just like, these are so cool! And the friend was just like, man, your dice are like so like well finished and stuff. I'm like, your dice are nice. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, yeah, but look at the D20 like on the 20 face. And I'm just like, okay, now that you've pointed it out, I can see something here that like could be better, I guess. And then I'm like, okay, but look at the 9 face of your D20. Because the number is completely messed up. Like, it was things like that where it's just like, we both did not notice any sort of flaw or anything with the other person's work, but we were just like, okay, just look at this on my work, because I messed it up. I don't think either of us would have noticed if neither of us had said anything. Okay. Oh no, but I was gonna say, makes you feel better. The thing that made me feel a lot better at one point was I went and looked at my factory-made dice, and because I realized actually fairly early on into making dice that I could look at a set of factory dice, like I could look at a set of dice, and for the most part tell you whether they were made with a face mold, with a cap mold like these, or a sprue mold. That was something that I realized. I was like, okay, I can tell whether these had a face open, or if there was just like a little point that the resin was injected through. And I could also, for the most part, tell you where the sprues were or which face was up, because you can tell by how the resin flows and stuff. Whenever you're making something, you're giving something to someone who makes something, you're even more critical. Yeah, and we both made dice. And so we were both just like, oh man, this other person's gonna notice because, you know, they make dice. No, I don't think either of us would have noticed if we hadn't pointed it out to the other. That's part of the reason also that even if I make a set of dice that I think are really ugly, I don't usually say that. At least, you know, I don't usually say that on social media or anything. Partially because, just because I don't necessarily like them doesn't mean that someone else won't. Okay, I think that's everything. I do have a phone grip here that I kind of want to add some white to, but we'll see if we have a little bit of extra resin. If we do, I'll mix up some white resin and we'll do that. But I think I have everything set up. Otherwise, let's see. You made a stained glass quilt for your grandma and fretted about it, and she didn't notice any of the stuff you messed up. Yeah. I think part of it too, it's have you ever seen the comic that's just like, oh sweet, 2 cakes? There's a comic that it's basically like someone made a cake, and it's, you know, it's a little lopsided and stuff, and it was and they bring it in, and they set it down next to like this beautiful cake, and it like everyone was labeled and stuff. I wonder if someone could find this, but then it cuts to like the, you know, it says artist space, it says artist, and it's just like, oh man, my cake isn't nearly as cool as this other person's cake. And then it cuts to the audience, someone labeled as the audience, and they're like, sweet, 2 cakes. And it's like, yeah, exactly. It's like, just comparison, what is it? Comparison is the killer of, I can't remember what it is. There's a saying. It's just like, there's no point making the comparison and stuff, but all right. I think that is everything that we need, if I am thinking correctly. I think. So let's get some resin poured. Yeah, let's get some resin poured. I'm actually, you know, this is like the first time that I've actually reused gloves in a while. Apparently I did not absolutely coat these in resin last time I used them, because they're still fine. Alright, let me put my respirator on. I'm going to be a little bit muffled the rest of the stream. I'm going to be very Darth Vader. I'm going to sound a bit like this. I will try to talk as
clearly as possible, but it's gonna be a little bit muffled. All right, let me grab my resin down, and let's get this poured. All right, so I'm gonna go a little bit quiet here. I can't talk and measure at the same time unless we want to mess, and I don't want to mess, more so than usual. So feel free to chat amongst yourselves, and I'm gonna be right back after I've poured the first part of the resin. Lovely. Got it on my thumb. Okay, so that's all right. That looks good. I'm gonna grab part B. And this is the hardener. I'll get this poured as well. Get that cat hair out of there, because there is absolutely cat hair in there. Okay. I should pull out the new bottle. I think I need to bring out the new bottle. This one's running a little bit low. I had just a little bit of leftover in this bottle, so I was like, I'll use that up before I open the new one, but I'm gonna set this upside down up here. Hopefully not make too much of a mess. I'll pull out the new one. Hardener. I'm trying not to, I don't want to get any of my resin, into this one. That would be bad. So we'll use our tweezers here. Hey Robbie, how you doing? How you doing? Just opening up a new bottle of the hardener here. You're good. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Well, trying to get. Oh well, never mind. Just finished modding. Oh, who are you modding for? My first thought was like making mods for video games. I hope you know. And my second thought was moderating. Or maybe you were making mods for video games, and I was right the first time in my brain. Let me get this measured. Okay, there we go. Yay. A friend, she's playing Legend of Dragoon, but she's a crafter mostly. Oh, okay. feel a little bit, I don't know what the word is. I don't know if guilty is the right word. Maybe guilty is the right word. I always still feel a little bit guilty about playing Minecraft on Saturdays. It's just like, no, I'm supposed to be a crafting streamer. That was your first thought too. Yeah, no, it's just like, I'm supposed to be a crafting streamer. What am I doing playing a video game? I don't even play video games. But, I don't know, at the same time, it's just like, Liz, it's your Twitch channel, you can do what you want on it. It's just like, I have this internal battle. Oh, it's fine. To be honest, I've done Minecraft the past 2 Saturdays just because, like, I've had stuff going on right afterwards, and so I wanted to do something that I could stop whenever I needed to. So, like, Resin, I can't stop in the middle of it like I can with, like, Minecraft or, other video games and stuff. So it just worked out better. Once I get a more permanent schedule figured out, we'll see what happens. But I might continue streaming Minecraft on Saturdays because I have, like, plans for some stuff I want to work on, and I think it could be fun to do on stream. But we'll see. Maybe I will make Saturday more of a miscellaneous day again. We'll do some other arts and crafts. That's what Saturday started out as. Like, originally, Wednesdays were for making dice, and then Saturdays were, like, experiment days. Like, Saturdays are supposed to be the days where either I tried out new stuff with resin or I did, like, different kinds of arts and crafts. And part of it was just an excuse to get me to, like, give me time to work on other art projects that I had been wanting to work on but just never made the time for. Like painting and stuff. Like, I never make the time to actually do painting. But I don't know. I do enjoy it. I do enjoy streaming, I mean. But I don't know. Could be fun to do some more miscellaneous stuff. I think it could be fun to do a gingerbread house making stream at some point. Just make a gingerbread house on stream while we chat. I feel like I need to get out more so I have more stuff to chat about, to be honest. I need to, I like gingerbread too, man. I love those, like, autumn spices. I was talking about chai earlier. There's a lot of the same kind of spices in there. With the cinnamon and the nutmeg and all that sort of stuff. But I love those autumn spices. They're just so, like, warm. I think one of my favorite, my favorite cookie is molasses sugar cookies. And they kind of remind me of gingerbread because they have some of those spices in them too. But then also molasses. You went outside today. It was trash day. I'm starting up. I've decided to start up driving for Uber Eats again. So that's finally getting me out of the house. So I think that'll be good for me. I think it'll be good to actually get out of the house and go run around for a bit. I've spent so much time just inside my house. Yeah. Yes, I'll come drop off your food for you, Robbie. You just gotta order something local. I did Uber Eats. So I think I've talked about this before. I had a desk job, and then I quit it at the end of 2019 so that I could finish my degree. So I was really close. I can eat it. You just want to hang out. Fair. Sounds like a good time. I'll just bring lots of snacks and we can share. It'll be good. No, I quit my job back at the end of 2019 so I could finish my degree, and then I finished my degree in May of 2020, which, if you will think back that far, was a very strange time. You discovered Cinnamon Toast Crunch flavored creamer. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Now I want coffee. Coffee sounds nice. I don't drink a ton of coffee. What's my degree in? It's a very confusing title. It's basically a general science degree, or you can say it's a math degree. Okay, my degree is technically a general science degree with a primary focus in mathematics and a secondary focus in applied technology. But I'm having more fun using my fine arts minor. Yeah, it's a general science degree with a focus in math. I was originally going for a mechanical engineering degree, and then I discovered that I was closer to the math degree, and I'm like, okay, we're going for that because I just wanted to be done. But yeah, I'm having more fun using my fine arts minor than my math major. Oh, don't ask me to do math off the top of my head either. I'd have to remember how to do it. Hasn't been that long, but you know, I still don't understand differential equations. They still are Greek to me. I didn't understand differential equations when I took the class, to be honest. That is the longest degree time. I know. It's like it's so confusing. It's like, what do I say when people ask what I have a degree in? I usually say either general science or mathematics because it's just easier than trying to explain that, yeah, it's a general science degree, but it's a focus in mathematics, and then there's also some engineering stuff in there. That's what the applied technology is, by the way. I had a whole bunch of engineering classes because I started out in that. I should just lead with I have a minor in fine arts. It's more relevant anyways. But the point I was getting to, though, was that I graduated at a really weird time for looking for work. And I didn't want a desk job again. You went for computer programming and you couldn't remember it, so you switched to a business degree. Yeah, I'm not good at programming. I have a couple of friends who are excellent at programming. That are, were computer science majors and stuff, but I did take one or two like programming classes and I could do it. I don't know. I like physical objects. I say as I have a math degree. I don't know what I'm talking about. I like working with my hands, and that just doesn't or being able to visualize things, I guess. Which, now that I'm talking about this, it doesn't make sense for me having a math degree. Because it's the same sort of thing. But anyways, I don't know. It just didn't click in my brain as much. I could do it, but it took me a long time to try and figure out syntax and stuff. But yeah, that's fair. I think most people switch majors. Like I said, I switched from mechanical engineering over to the math. But yeah, so I right after I graduated, I ended up driving for Uber Eats because it was something I had a friend that was doing it and mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I could try that. And then I ended up actually really enjoying it. I really enjoyed driving for Uber Eats. Okay, this is getting pretty close. I'm just scraping the sides once more and the bottom and stuff just to see how it is. But let's see. You majored in political science and then saw no practical application for it and switched to psychology. Fair. I mean, yeah. I don't know what I would do with my degree. I just wanted to be done and have a degree. I was tired of people. That was something that really annoyed me. So I was at college. I was at university, and then I got a job offer to work basically to work the IT at the place that I had interned at multiple summers in high school. But I got a job offer to work there full time. I had a good job. It was salaried. It had benefits. Good desk job. Good place to work. But I left school. I left university to come back for this job. And like every time I talk to someone, it seemed like someone I would consider an adult. I was what, like 20 at the time or something. But every time I talked to an adult and said, "Oh yeah, I came back because I got a job," like the first words out of their mouth was, "Oh, so when are you going to finish your degree?" And it's like, can no one here just be happy for me? Oh my gosh. Why is everyone like, don't you go to school to get a degree so that you can get a job that's good? Why is everyone suddenly so concerned about me getting a degree if I have a job that's good? Can you tell that it really annoyed me? It really annoyed me. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good. I'm not seeing any streaks in here. I tend to overmix my resin a little bit because I have a pressure pot that'll get rid of, some of the air bubbles, so it's not too big of a deal if I mix in a little extra air. Yeah, it's my life. Be happy for me, yeah. But also, it was just like, I don't know, it felt very condescending. Your school just moved you to the emotional disabilities classroom, so now you're kind of using it. Hey, that works out. Let's see, I think, I'm not seeing any streaks in here. I think we're good to go. Yeah, I don't think I see any streaks. That's kind of how I tell when it's done, or when it still needs more mix, is if I can see where the two parts aren't mixed together, but it looks like it's all one homogeneous thing, so I think we're good to go. So, let's do these first, because these are just going to have clear resin, and I want time for all of that resin to sink down in there. So this is our little terrariums, and let's just start pouring resin. And I fully expect to have to add a little bit more resin as things, as air starts rising to the surface. And it looks like mushrooms are staying in place, which is good. I'll double check them once more. I do feel like I'm still kind of figuring out what I want to do with my life. I really enjoy doing this stuff, obviously. But I am still figuring out like how I'm gonna make things work. Just like anybody else, I guess. I could go get a stable job again, probably, but man, that's you every day. Man, there's stuff going on in the group chat, it sounds like. I don't know. I just enjoy doing this too much. You just want to make the best of every day. Exactly, yeah. Oh. I'd like to enjoy what I'm doing. It's not you. No, it's not Discord. It's some IRL friends in a text thread, I think. I checked it just a moment ago to see who is texting, and I think it's some friends in a group text. I have a group text with some friends, and it's usually memes. We don't get invited to group chats. Yeah, but no, let's be honest. I think it's usually memes that get sent in there the most. But no, I am curious what's going on. But I will wait until after we're done streaming to go see what they're nattering on about. It's my life. Okay, let me spritz these down. Yes, the memes are very important. It's true. I'm just trying to get some of the bubbles to pop on here, and we'll start adding a little bit more. Okay, how much resin is in here? Just a second here, because I think we're gonna need. Oh wait, I need to do this too. I almost forgot the keychain. Gotta add some resin in here as well. don't get invited to group chats either. Maybe to be fair, you did get invited to the Discord, and then you're just like, I don't understand all these youths. No, you didn't. You didn't sound like that. I'm just making fun of you. But you did get invited. No, I don't know. I'm. There you go. You and Robbie can have your group chat, and then you'll both be included. You can both say that you have your group chat, and you can just send texts, and laugh at the rest of us who aren't in the group chat. Alright, just a second. I'm just trying to make sure that there's no big air bubbles underneath the mushroom here. Alright, and that's going to be a keychain. I'm just spritzing this with a little bit of rubbing alcohol to try and help break the surface tension, but obviously it's not working great. Come on, pop. So we'll give these a second. We'll give these a minute for the for air to rise to the surface. Does that just say leg? Oh no, LFG. I thought it said leg. Like leg? Why are you saying leg? I gave you old lady voice and everything. I mean, how am I supposed to make fun of you without doing a silly voice? Is that even possible? Is that a thing you can do? You're not that old. I know you're in your 40s, you're not that old. It is weird how over time, like, that becomes, like, not that old. It's just like, I don't know, when I was in high school, it's just like, oh man, people in their 40s are so old. And now I'm like, I'm in my late 20s, and I'm just like, it's not that old. You're in your 40s, right? Or your late 30s? Your students keep calling you emo, and you have to explain that you're too old to be emo. You're like, no, you gotta get your time frame right, guys. That's funny. That's really funny. Okay. I think I might be a little too young for emo. I'm trying to remember, like, when was emo a thing? Maybe not. Maybe not. Like, what years? You're not in your 40s? Okay. Who is it that I was talking to that was in their 40s? Are you in your 30s? I was talking to someone who was in their 40s on here. I can't remember who it was then. You talked about being old. What are you then if not emo? Okay. This needs to be about 5 milliliters maybe? Maybe a little bit more? Maybe 7.5? When you're this old, you're goth. Man, I think I'd be goth if I knew anything about the music scene, which I don't. Okay, let's see here. I need about 20 milliliters for this one. But I like the aesthetic. To be fair, I do want to say, you're in your 30s. To be fair, I have no idea what you look like. I have no frame of reference at all. That's kind of a weird thing about streaming. Is like, it's. I don't want to say it's hard to keep track of y'all. No. It's weird, kind of weird. Just like, let me see. Do I have enough here? Yes, I think that's about 20. Yeah, that should be good. It's hard to. I don't have a face to put to a name. I just have your guys' names. So it's like always just a little bit weird trying to like remember who I was talking to about certain things. Because I have very little like to reference, I guess. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't think I'm explaining it well, but I don't want it to sound like I can't tell all you guys apart. That's not what I mean. I just mean that, like, I have a you're 7'5", long blonde locks, and have 2 left hands, and you're 107. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm going to about 10. Okay. You're 6 foot tall and pale as heck and have a ton of eyeliner and a purple mohawk. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay, you're the one with the mohawk. See, that's, yes. Now I remember the mohawk. Because we were talking about the mohawk at one point. Okay, there we go, there's about 10 left. You do sound very cool. You do sound very cool with your purple mohawk. Man. You know, I kind of held off on doing anything interesting with my hair. Group chat over there. I kind of held off on doing anything interesting with my hair because I wasn't sure, like, what I was gonna do job-wise. And now I'm still just like, but it's gonna happen. People making connections in the Twitch chat. Now I'm just like, I don't know what I want to do with my hair, but that could be fun. I had an undercut for a while. That was pretty fun. Add a dollop. And piercings and tattoos. Only thing I ever got pierced was my ears. And, like, I don't know what it is. I can't wear earrings for a long period of time. At least one of them always ends up hurting. So I just don't wear earrings anymore. Okay, I got a little bit. You do possibly sound like the coolest human being alive. I do want you to know that, Helen. You do sound like really cool. Alright, so let's see here. Let's get our teal mixed up. There we go. That's a little bit darker. I kind of like it maybe a little bit darker. I think I like it a little bit darker. So let's maybe do it a little bit darker. I'll add another drop of the teal. Full left arm is nautical tattoos. And oh yeah, you were in the Navy, weren't you? Right. Both ears are pierced to the heck, as well as nose. Monroe? I don't know what that is. Alright. Because we had that whole conversation. We had that cool old lady. We had that whole conversation about swearing like a sailor. Now I remember. Now I remember that whole conversation about swearing like a sailor. And about how it was an accurate saying. Alright, this is going to just clear. Our shimmer. Okay. Alright, I think I want to do this set next, the one with the mic powders. And that's partially just because I want to have time for these to sync. I need a little bit more resin here. If you're not even 40 yet, you are definitely not old. What's your group chat gonna be? It is weird to think, like, you know, they still talk about like millennials and stuff. It's like, oh, millennials aren't buying houses or whatever. It is weird to me to think that I am like at the tail end of being a millennial. I'm like one of like the youngest. And I'm almost 30. Like, I don't know. It seems like millennials are not supposed to be in their 30s. Even though they all are now. Like, You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's the weird thing about generational divides is that people get older. There we go. This is nice and saturated, so there's a whole bunch of mica powder in here. It's kind of oversaturated with the mica powder, and that's going to make this resin heavier than the other resin. That's the idea anyway. Oh, right. Okay, like where beauty mark would be. Okay. I know what you're talking about now. Alright. There's that. Alright, so let's get these done. That's going to be the ones with our colors here. And I think I need the rest of that clear because I need enough to put on the lids over here. We should be good. We should have plenty of resin, I think. Hey Omar, how you doing? How you doing? Sorry, whoops. We're making all sorts of dice today. I've already got the terrarium ones all poured. I don't know what I'm doing. I can fill that up more. Gosh, it's so chunky. You're stuck on a railroad right now? Are you headed somewhere, or is it just like a local? The which ones? I have little terrarium ones that I'm making. Here, I'll show you. Oh, what's that? Oh, thanks for following. Glad you can join us, Pridary system. They got little going home. Ah, that's nice. They got little like mushrooms in them and little plants. They're a commission that I was working on. Yeah, I'm kind of excited for them. I think they're going to turn out pretty cute. But now I'm just making a set because I had resin. So I'm trying to get these filled up most of the way, and we're going to do some of that heavily saturated mica on top. And that'll kind of sink in and do cool swirls. I'm hoping that I have enough resin here now, though. Because I'm kind of... Yeah, we'll see if I have enough resin. I'm cutting it close. Just a second. I'm spilling resin, which is... No, I need you to be in the mold, not on the side of the mold. What are you trying to do? That's so cute. Yeah, I'll send you photos. Let's see what it's today. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. I will send you photos once I get them unmolded, Drebo. So probably tomorrow night. If not tomorrow night, then the morning after that. You get jealous when I make awesome dice for commissions and you can't buy them. To be like fair, yeah, yeah, makes sense. To be fair, I do get ideas from commissions sometimes. So I do sometimes make designs again, or I end up with spares because the first set doesn't turn out quite right. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You're so excited for your calendar, man. I hope you like it. I hope you like it. There's some fun stuff in there. I went and took photos of every die, but I'm not gonna post them until after December if I do post them. Yeah, I'm gonna need a little bit more resin. We'll see. Okay, so actually this might work out just fine. So I have my 3 colors here. I'm gonna try and kind of divide it up so that there's like some in each like corner type thing. So I'm gonna add like a drop there, and then I'm gonna add like a drop here. So I want them all kind of separate in their own quadrants. That's kind of the word I'm looking for, except in this case it's not 4. Quadrant I feel like implies 4. Let's see. You're still waiting for that rainbow pour. Oh yeah, just hold out till after the New Year because Christmas is expensive. Oh man, which one was that? The one where every die was a different color, or the trying to do a Petri that's a rainbow that I still haven't perfected yet. Ah, I can hold off on that. Those were going to be in the next shop update, the ones where every die was a different color, but I can hold off on putting those in the shop if you want me to. I feel like these are kind of interesting colors. They're like a little bit more almost like muted, or they're cooler toned, I guess, than a lot of the other ones. But I feel like they're kind of nice. It's kind of different maybe from what I usually would do color wise. Oops, that was more than I meant to add. You want them? All right. I can hold off on that. It's gonna appear, I think, to be a slightly smaller restock this month, anyways, or for December. Partially just because I'm adding Galaxy dice to the shop, and so I went and polished up 4 sets of Galaxy dice instead of polishing up 4 different kinds of dice. So it's gonna look probably like a smaller restock than usual, just because there's gonna be a whole bunch of the same kind of die. But I'm kind of excited because I updated the Galaxy die design a little bit, and I think it's nice. I think it's good. I changed it to a dirty pour instead of layers, partially just so that the glitter would work better. Alright. Why is this so goopy? I think it's kind of thick because there's so much mica in here. I had a lot of mica in these. Okay. Oops, that was probably more purple than I needed to add. That's okay. This is good though. I was kind of worried that I wouldn't have enough of this stuff. Oh dear. I wouldn't have enough resin for these, but it looks like I will, because I'm going to have enough with this stuff that it'll work out just fine. Alright, come on. Add a bit more. Alright, yeah, I'll set this aside. Let's see here. Oh, there's a little bit of red on here. That's okay. Oh, we were talking. Do you have any fun plans for Thanksgiving? I'm going over to my parents' house. We live in the same town, so it's easy enough to do. But we're gonna have lunch, which will be nice. I think I'm gonna work on some stuff for the bazaar that I have coming up tomorrow. Probably afterwards. I had the realization. Oh. Whoops! Tomorrow's a holiday. No. Yeah. So that's I think kind of my plan. I had the kind of realization today that, oh, that bazaar's coming up a lot quicker than I was thinking it was. So I'm like, I need to get stuff done. I need to actually go get some stuff done. Oh, going to your grandma's. That's nice. I have a set of grandparents that have lived in town, my whole life. And then I had one set of grandparents that lived about 8 hours away. And the grandparents that lived 8 hours away have now moved into town. So I'll have both sets of grandparents for the most part at Thanksgiving, which would be nice. That's where I was. Did I stock my lantern dice? Oh no, they're in the tumbler right now. I don't think they're going to be done for December. I think they're still going to be polishing. Oh, let's add a little bit of second. I'm just make sure that I have. Okay. That's a win for you. I just need to make sure that I space out all of the dice that you want, so that you can. I have consistent purchases from Elmer. Yeah, no, I think that probably December for those. They are in the tumbler right now, but I don't think they'll be done by the 3rd. I don't think they'll be done by the 3rd. I'm still working on figuring out a review, like how to do reviews for my page. Here's actually a question for you guys. Like, what would, like if you were gonna like buy something from an artist's site, like what would be the most like useful to you? You think December is the first month you don't buy dice in a good while? I mean, you do have an advent calendar coming. So, I mean, I don't know, I guess it's November, but, okay. That was a November purchase. Fair. No, but what I was asking though is like if you were debating like ordering stuff from someone's site, what sort of like I'm trying to figure out how to do reviews. I'm just wondering like what would be the most useful to you, or like what would you like to see as a consumer? Because like I'm trying to think of it as like if I was going to go to someone's site, like I would want to see reviews. I like seeing like reviews from folks on things that they've gotten, just to be, you know, have like, okay, this is kind of vetted. I'm trying to figure out how to set that up, but I'm curious if you guys have other things you can think of that would be useful as well. Because I'm trying to make my site as user friendly as like it can be. And also as like flattering, I guess, as it can be. That sounds weird. I hate doing self-promotion stuff. I really do. But it's also kind of necessary. I feel like it's bad form for me to talk about it. Like it just does feel a little bad form to talk about it. But at the same time, it's just like, I don't know. If you guys have any like relevant information, I'd love to pick your brains. If you have any ideas, I'm always looking for ideas. Give me stickers and business cards. I mean, that's doable. I have both of those things. That is something I want to work on, and it's on my to-do list, actually, is I want to make, like, some sticker sheets, because I think that'd be fun. I don't know if I trust my art ability enough to make stickers to sell, but I'm going to try it anyways. But I do have stickers that I send with orders. Alright. That's something yeah. I need to figure out stuff for... Now I'm thinking about the bazaar again. That I have I made myself a to-do list, which is good, because it does make it seem like it's not as daunting if I have like all of the steps that I need to do written down. But there is still a lot on that list now that I'm thinking about it. That's a tomorrow Liz problem though, I think. I'll worry about that stuff tomorrow. I don't need to worry about that stuff tonight. Yay, okay, I think these are looking like they have enough resin, so that's good. They're kind of interesting colors. I feel like, I don't know, it's like red and then white and purple. It reminds me of something, but I don't know what it is. You can use a bunch of the D2s. Oh. I mean, that'd be doable. Just the little coins. It's funny, because, like, I feel like the D2s are the thing that I get the question most often of, what are these for? So it's kind of funny to me Yeah, I think you did say that before. No, but it's just kind of funny to me that you're just like, these would be useful to me when they're the thing that, like, most people are just like, what is the point of this? I'm like, it's just a coin. Just a coin. To be fair, that's something that we could figure out, Helen. Like, if you actually want to order a bunch of D2s, like, we can get that figured out. I'm always open to, like, commissions and stuff that aren't things that are listed. I need a more frequent social media presence. I mean, to be fair, I skimped this week because I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. I skimped this week. Oh, it's my camera. Oh, maybe it is Tide Pods that I'm thinking of. My camera makes everything look more blue. I've discovered, which is like, all right, everything just looks blue, I guess. No. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, and the social media presence thing. I think should probably interact with people more on Twitter. Twitter is probably the social media that I understand the least. I don't know how to use Twitter. Use them for Facebook. We're talking like 30 of them. Oh wow. I have to think on that because probably need to make a bunch of molds. Oh no, but the social media thing, like I use Twitter probably the least, but I probably should interact with people more on there. But I do post to social media 3 times a week. Usually, I didn't post. I didn't post on what day was that? Monday. I didn't post on Monday because I literally had a migraine the whole day. And so I literally slept for 18 hours or something on Monday. I slept almost the entirety of Monday because I had a migraine, which was not fun. So a lot of them, yeah. It's something that, like, we could maybe get figured out though. Like, yeah, if you ever have an idea for like a commission or something that you'd like to get done, feel free to just message me. And then if I'm like, I don't think I could do that, I'll just tell you. Like, I'll just tell you if I don't think it's something I could get done. But I feel like I need to make more. I need to make more D2 molds anyways. So, maybe it'd be a good excuse for me to make some more molds. Okay, I'm just setting these over here for now. Okay. All right. Let's get. Let's get some clear resin put on. Actually, no. Wait. Before we do that, let's do our last D2 here, and our D20. Okay, we're gonna do this first. This is gonna be the orange, and then it's gonna have some yellow and red in there. Oh yeah, no, I mean, that's just, I feel like that's just best practice anyway. Like, it's better to say that, like, you can't do something than to say that you can do something and then not deliver. I don't know, it's just better, like, communication and stuff, too. So, yeah, it goes both ways there. I would hope that you would know me well enough to be truthful with you, I guess. Okay, I'm going to do that. Do a little bit of red. I might have made the orange a little bit too dark. I think I shouldn't have added that second little bit. But that's okay. That's red. That's yellow. Here. Yeah, I've definitely had people message me before and say, "Hey, could you do dice with custom faces?" And I'm just like, "Sorry, I don't have the stuff to do that at the moment." Like, I don't know. It just seems better to. I don't want to string people along. You want a tank-sized die by yesterday? I want it on my desk by yesterday. All right. Let's get all of these poured. So this one, it's clear with a little bit of shimmer in it. I should have done this one, probably poured this one already, but that's okay. We're going to pour this about halfway. And then we're going to put a drop of black in here, if I can get the lid off. There we go. So I'm trying to get this kind of in between two different sets. I'm going to add a drop of black, a single drop. Okay, no more, no less, but a single drop of black. And I'm going to try and swirl this around a bit. I'm trying to get something that's kind of, I'm trying to get something that is darker than the lightest of these and lighter than the darkest of these. So that's the goal here. So I'm doing a single drop of black, and then I'm going to pour this from a height, try and get things to kind of spread out a bit. Let's see, one of the biggest holes in dice making that you've seen is spin down dice. What is spin down dice? I don't even know what that is. You still say the darks is really cool? Oh yeah, I think that both of the ones that I've done so far have turned out pretty cool. It's just not, it's not what the person's looking for. They'll end up in my shop. The two that don't end up being the one that the person wants will end up in my shop. I'm going to try and swirl this around a little bit more. I'm hoping that this is going to be... I hope this one's going to be in between. I think it will be. I'm fairly certain that the first one I did 2 drops of black, and then the second one I did less than a drop, so I think 1 drop should be in the middle. But we'll get that. Let's add a little bit to the lid here. Let's give this a second to let air rise to the surface. I technically still have a couple of things on Etsy, but I've pretty much completely moved on. Yeah, I don't know. I've been debating whether I want to put some things on Etsy to try and drive traffic, but I feel like it is just, it's almost more inconvenient for people if I have stuff in 2 spots. Because I figure people want to be able to order, like, if they want to order more than one thing, they'll want to be able to order them from the same place. But I don't know, like, I've definitely lost some sales since I've moved off of Etsy, but I do enjoy the kind of freedom of having my own site. And that's why I'm trying to figure out reviews at the moment, is because I think, like I was saying, if I'm going to order something, especially if it's, a fair bit of money, I want to have some reassurance that, like, what I'm ordering is of a good quality. And I feel like without reviews, people coming to my site, the only like guarantee they have or whatever that what I'm making is good is the information that I'm giving them, which isn't going to seem as reliable. It's going to seem biased. So let's see. So like a regular D20 has a high low numbers on opposite faces, like the 1 opposite the 20, 2 opposite the 19, and so on. Spin down dice are used a lot in Magic the Gathering, and numbers are adjacent to each other. Oh! Yes, I think I have. So, okay. The place that I get my masters from, I think, actually prefers that. And that's why my D8s are weird. Which sounds weird. I talked to them at one point. So on my jumbo dice, one of my D10s has the numbers adjacent, and one of them has the numbers like not adjacent. You play Magic the Gathering, never noticed the dice were different. I guess that makes sense though if you want to be able to like count down. Oh, that makes sense. Spin down. That makes sense. Because with Magic the Gathering, you're trying to like keep track of a number instead of like spin for or roll for a number, right? I don't know much about Magic, but I believe that's correct, right? It's more of a counter than anything. Alright, is that everything? I think that is everything. I have a little bit of resin. Okay. Now let's actually add some well, well, let's not add cat hair. Let's get that out of there. We're going to add a little bit of clear resin to these lids and start getting some lids on. I do... And then if I have a little bit of extra resin, I will add it to a thing over here. Just add a dollop of resin. I'm excited for these. I think these are going to turn out cute. So I'm gonna start putting the lids on our little terrariums. I'm excited to see these tomorrow when I unmold them, and I will send photos to the person that ordered them. You know, that's always something that I like, not always, but that's something that I'm like a little bit not sure on. So when it comes to commissions, I like doing them on stream because I think it's fun that people can come see the thing that they ordered being made. Like, I just think that's fun. So you learn something to do. So then I end up making the like commission dice on stream, but then I make things on stream, and so people are like curious to see how they turned out. And then at the same time, I don't like showing off photos of commissioned dice, except to the person who commissioned them, because it feels like they should be able to see them first. So then I like, but I also like to post things in the Discord so people can see how they turned out. Man, I don't know what I'm doing. Every once in a while, I will ask the person that ordered things if they're cool with photos being posted in the Discord, but usually I just end up only posting photos of non-commissioned things. Alright, I'll do 2. I'll put this under something. I spoil you? You know, that's not really. That's something about, I have debated for a long time about doing YouTube videos. You're comfortable? Okay, cool. I will post photos of the little terrarium dice in the Discord then. No, I debated doing YouTube videos instead of streaming. Like, I really enjoy streaming. They're completely different things. But I feel like with videos and things... Oh, awesome. Thanks, Helen. Cool. Where was I going with this? What was I saying? Oh, streaming versus making videos. It always kind of like bothers me. It doesn't bother me. It's just like, it's not as satisfying for me when I watch like videos of people pouring resin and then never seeing the finished product. Like, there'll be like Instagram videos and stuff of like, come back tomorrow to see how these turned out. And I'm like, no, I want to see both the pouring and the unmolding to see how things turned out. And so I debated doing like YouTube videos so that you can have both in the same thing. I think that YouTube videos and streams are kind of 4 completely different things, but man, yeah, that's the only thing about streaming. It's just like, man, I wish that like people could see how things turned out too. And I feel like that'd be so much more satisfying. But that is kind of why I'm happy that the Discord ended up being a thing. And you can thank. I know Jen bothered me about making a Discord. I can't remember who else was like, you should make a Discord. But that is. I am glad that I ended up making one, because it does work out well for being like, hey, here's what we made yesterday. Oh man, my throat just got really dry all of a sudden. So I do like having a place to be like, okay, here's the payoff for what we set up, yesterday type thing while streaming. I do feel like that is much more rewarding to be able to see like how things turned out. I've still been debating doing YouTube videos. My only thing is I know that I'm bad at editing, and so like I've avoided it because I know that I'm bad at editing. But at the same time, I also know that the best way to get better at editing is to do it. It is kind of interesting to me the number of people that have actually like wound up here because of YouTube though, because I post all the VODs of these streams on YouTube. Yeah, so if you ever want to, go back and watch your dice being made, these videos do exist on YouTube. Not that they're organized particularly well, but they do exist. But it is kind of surprising to me. I've had a couple people that have ended up either here or in the Discord or something from YouTube. That just seems so strange to me. It's just like, oh, I was just trying to keep a record of things. I didn't actually expect people to watch these. Oops, I got a little bit of glitter on my finger. That was very exciting though. Alright, let's go. Let's see here. There's another cat hair. You said you never got to expand on hearing my grandma's stories. I mean, my grandma's not dead. I do want to do that. I still want to do that. I just don't, I'm stuck on the logistics. Like, I don't know how I want to set that up to actually do it. For those who don't know what we're talking about, my grandma grew up in Chicago and has all sorts of stories about growing up in Chicago. She doesn't think it was interesting, but I'm like, just because it was, 1950s, it's interesting to people now, because there's plenty of people now that just didn't exist in the 1950s, and so they'd be interested to hear what it was like. But she says it wasn't exciting, but at the same time, like, her dad got chased out of Chicago by the mob, and like she was watching a what was it? A documentary on Jackie Robinson, I think. And it mentioned a game that he played in Chicago, and she's like, "Oh, we were sitting over there." And so there's just lots of little things like that. And it's just like, man. So I talked about starting like a podcast with her, where I just sit down with her and like ask her questions about what it was like growing up. And like I still want to do that, but I've gotten caught up in like how I would do that. Like what, like equipment and questions and like I don't know, and so then I just have not done it. I got so caught up in like there's so many things to figure out that I just never actually take the time to figure it out and just ignore it, which is kind of my MO at this point. But I mean, I still would like to do that. Oh, and then the reason that it relates to doesn't have to be like super amazing quality. I know, that's fair. And I'm sure I could find one day a week or something to go over there and like sit down with her and ask questions. I think I just need to figure out how I can record. Like, do I need like a laptop or something? Like, what should I record to? It's honestly a technical sort of thing. Like, I just don't know how to do it technically, and so I just haven't. That's kind of where I'm at on that. It's just, I just need to figure out the technical aspect, and I find the technical side of things like that just so boring. It just doesn't interest me at all. To be fair, I probably have a couple of friends I could ask about that. it's the same with like making my stream better. Like I could probably get a better microphone and stuff. Are you taking a picture of me? I could probably get like a better microphone and stuff. I just honestly don't want to take the time to figure out what I need. And so I just haven't. Okay, let's get this lid on. Put this underneath something as well. Okay. Okay, this one is just going to be like this. Let me spritz it down and get rid of some of those surface bubbles. This is the one that's going to be our pond theme. So it has our teal resin and some moss in there. How's this one looking? There's some little tiny bubbles here, but I think they'll be okay. Alright. Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Okay, I'll need to think through it on that, because I'll need to figure out the technical stuff, and then I'll need to figure out kind of maybe a format or something, or just like an idea of some questions to ask her. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be too hard. I could figure out questions to ask her, because, you know, I know of quite a few of her stories. Bubble dice would be cool. Like dice that look like they have bubbles in them. Or dice with actual bubbles in them. Yeah, I have, I'm just thinking about doing dice with bubbles now. Dice with actual bubbles in them would probably end up weighted really funky, because all of the bubbles would try to rise to the surface. But I think that we could do dice that look like they're filled with bubbles. I think we could do that, sort of. Either one with UV resin, because I found that if you do, put UV resin into the two-part resin, it has a slightly different refraction than the other one, and so you can still kind of see it. So if we made a whole bunch of like little dots of UV resin and then filled the dice with those, I think maybe we could make it look like bubbles. Or little clear beads, like little clear beads. You could put those in there, and then if the light kind of hit it at a different angle and stuff, we can make that look like bubbles too. What I'm doing here is I have a foam grip over here, and I'm just adding a white back to it. I'm trying to, anyways, just to make it a little bit flatter. Yeah, not actual. Oh, okay. Maybe we'll have to try something with that at some point. Maybe that could be an experiment we try. I feel like we could try and do something that makes it look like there's bubbles. That seems like it'd be doable. Like I was saying, I have some ideas. Maybe clear beads in different sizes. Well, that's kind of what I'm saying. Like, if it's a slightly different material than the resin, it might reflect light differently. And so, like, when it moves and stuff, you'd still be able to see the shape of it because it would reflect light differently. It'd be like, I don't know. I don't know if I have an example of something that I could show you. But just kind of like where the two different materials like interact, depending on what it is. The light might shine off of it differently. Okay, I'm just trying to back this thing a little bit. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. Maybe having hard. Yeah, it's hard for me to explain. Let me see if I'm trying to think if I have anything that would work as an example. I'm trying to think if I have any dice that have kind of an example. Here. Just like, see if I have anything here. This will actually work almost as an example, and this is the same material. So here's a die that has a bee in it. And if you catch the light, just right now, let me see. Actually, that's hard to see. Oh, there it is. If you catch the light at the right angle on this, it'll focus. It doesn't want to focus. Come on. You know, I don't know. It might not matter. You see that kind of line in there? See how there's a line? There you go. You can kind of see that line there. That's because there's 2 pores of resin. So you can kind of see where the 2 are running into each other. And that's even more pronounced when you have, like, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm talking about, is you kind of see where the 2 materials are touching each other. Because the light's kind of, like, bouncing off of, like, the cracks almost. Okay, got that. Let's put that down. I've still got a little bit of resin left. Let's maybe just make a couple of keycaps maybe. Can I fit I don't think I could fit a whole rose in here, could I? No. No, I don't think so. We could fit some moss though. Or some flowers. Let's put some flowers. Okay, I'm gonna put some flowers into some keycaps here. Since I've got some leftover clear resin here. This is what I was saying about like dipping things in resin first. The reason I'm doing that here is because the resin's starting to get a little bit thicker, and so it wouldn't flow as well if I were to just pour it over this flower. So I'm going to put a flower. Add a leaf too. Sprite dice. That could be kind of cool. Okay. I have some interesting keycaps, so to be fair, I have actually sold a couple of keycaps, but I really haven't sold many keycaps, but I have a couple of cool ones that are going to be coming out with the next restock. That's kind of exciting. And there's some bubbles in there that I can see. Yeah, there's bubbles. To be fair, this one actually does have sprues, so the bubbles aren't as big of a deal because there's a space for basically extra resin to fill in, but still better if there's not giant bubbles. Alright. I haven't made any keycaps in a while. That's what we were thinking. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Will this leaf fit in here? I think it will. We're just making some champagne dice. Ooh, that'd be cool. That'd be cute. Champagne dice for New Year? Yeah. I like that idea. Do kind of like an off-whitish color with bubbles. I feel like that could be done. I feel like that's a thing that could happen. I might have to think on that. I feel like that's a thing that could happen. Maybe a little bit of like a shimmer to it to add to that effect. Little party hats in there. Oh, that'd be cute. That'd be cute for New Year's dice. All right. Okay, so I'm trying to get some resin to fill in here, and then I think I'm gonna add a color to that might be too much. It depends on like what kind of like style you're going for, I guess. Like I don't know that that'd be my style. Really, doing little party hats in there? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, I'm trying to get this leaf in here, and then I also want there to be enough resin. I worry that there's not enough resin in there. Then we're going to add the rest of this shimmery here. That should probably be enough, I think. And it looks almost clear, so I think it won't be too noticeably different from anything else. All right. We're just kind of using up the rest of our little bits of resin here. Let me spritz this down. I can see that being cute though. To be fair, doing dice with little party hats in it in general could be really cute. Like that's just kind of a cute idea. And I guess actually like doing the kind of bubbly dice maybe, or to be fair, I could do champagne dice that aren't super bubbly. They're maybe just kind of like a champagne color with like a little bit of shimmer to it and stuff. And then do that with little party hats in it. I can see that being really cute. We've just got a little bit of resin left here. This is what we're going to use it in. I have a D20 here that is almost full, and it just has black resin. I'm just going to fill it with our last little bits. I'm going to fill it with white first so that hopefully the other colors show up maybe a little bit better. I feel like the lighter color will help the colors show up. And then we'll add our opaque ones, I think, before the orange. You'd think it'd be cute, but that's also a lot to put in a little... Didn't I just make you dice with skulls in them? Yeah, no, it would be a lot of work, I think, to make... Well, yeah. I can see that still being cute, though. I think it could work out. I don't know if I have enough resin here. I guess we'll see. To be fair, it could also just do a little party hat in the D20. Yeah, oh yeah, see that's what I was saying. I was saying maybe if there weren't bubbles, maybe if it was just like a champagne color with like a little bit of shimmer to it with the party hats. But yeah, maybe if it had the bubbles, maybe not the party hats. I feel like that could obfuscate the party hats anyways. Make them difficult to see. if there's a whole bunch of bubbles in the way. Mismatched New Year's dice, now that could be cute. Yeah, there you go. You could have one that has like a whole bunch of glitter and stuff in it, and like confetti. You could have one that has a little party hat. One that has like champagne and like champagne colored with bubbles. That could be cute. Man, I hope there's enough resin here. That could be really cute. I don't know if there's enough resin here. It's so close. It's so close to being full. I'd like to get this. It's at that weird point where it's maybe not quite enough resin, but it's so much that I need to put the lid on. Yes, confetti and hats and champagne. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we need to come up with like a different idea for each die, I think, but I feel like, you know, that we could do that for the New Year's. There's definitely ideas there. I think maybe I've just scraped by with enough resin. Yay, there we go. I'm gonna have to make a note of this about New Year's dice with these things, because now this sounds like a really cute idea. Alright, I think I've got everything poured. Let me get this last lid on, and we'll probably call it. I don't know yet. Wait. Okay, I'm going to be streaming at noon on Saturday. Yes. I'm going to stream at noon on Saturday, Pacific Standard Time. I don't know yet what we're going to do. I don't know if we'll do resin or Minecraft or maybe something else. I don't know. If you have ideas for things you'd like to see, you know, feel free to shoot me a message or something. And then I will be back high noon. It's high noon. Ready to do, there we go. We're gonna have a duel. But yeah, noon on Saturday. So if you want to come hang out, then you can. Or I will be back again next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, doing more resin stuff. It's always resin stuff on Wednesdays. But thanks for hanging out, guys. If you want to see photos of how things turned out, I will be posting them in my Discord, probably tomorrow or the day after, depending on when I get them unmolded. And I think that's about it. Shop restock is on the 3rd of December. That's, I don't know. And I guess commissions are still open if people want anything. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and I will hopefully see you guys on Saturday or next Wednesday. Sorry, Helen. All right, bye.